Hello, folks. Welcome to Stout Sunday, Porter and Stout Porter Sunday, to be exact. I'm in Louisiana with Louisiana Porter Reviews. Burley Sullivan, you, back to you, and you. Oi, we got all kind of expressions today. 9 p.m. Right. And we have Beverage Ramble live from Georgia.
What's up, man? Hello,
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 welcome.
hello. How are you? How are you? How are you?
Welcome to
How are
Porter
you?
and Stout Porter Sunday.
Hold on, my friend. Hold on. Let me put my thing up there, and here we go. Here we go. All right. Hi. And good day, everyone. I am having the 2024 edition of Norwal Stout, 10.2%.
Wish we could still get that, but I haven't seen it for years.
Twist off cap, unfortunately. Shit.
Nope, don't even do it. Go get something.
Yeah. How's your Sunday going?
Fine. I went help the Knights of Columbus with something, and then I told them I had to leave because I had this coming. Now we got Jason joining us from Washington State, right?
That's right. Go Huskies.
Hey,
Okay.
Jason. How you doing?
Good morning, everyone. I was at the game last night. Got home
Oh,
very
really?
late, so yeah, a little
Out of it.
put together.
Here's
Well,
what I
I have.
Nothing like those late night West Coast Big Ten games.
That's right. That's right. The Huskies managed to stop the Trojans on the goal line, and we won by 5 points, 26-21.
Yeah, it's going to be the Lincoln Riley era. Hopefully, I know they got money, but they're not going to get rid of him already.
Well, welcome to Porter and Stout Porter Sunday. What do you have today?
That's right. So I have today from Bend, Oregon, and I'll open this up here shortly. This is
I've had that. Yeah.
it's Deschutes Black Butte non-alcoholic.
Oh,
Given that it's 7:35 in the morning
Right.
here on the West Coast.
right. Everybody doesn't do Dawn Busters like certain people.
This is actually saying, Jay, that it's 0.5%, less than 0.5%.
Yeah, well, we'll just round that down to 0.
Yeah, that's good.
Less than 0.5 is
Yeah.
nothing. Okay, so I'm going to turn my lamps on. Well, you know what? Let me pour this first. So I got a product called Chocolate Peanut Butter Porter. There's no use trying to show you a website because there isn't any website listing.
It has to be from our friends in Aldi, State of Brewing.
Yeah, the can looks like a marble countertop, you know, like you get from these kitchen supply stores.
Right.
So we got a marble countertop, and it is from State of Brewing. And it was $8.99 for the 6-pack at Aldi. They had their holiday Christmas ale for Jason. Your hair looks fine. Mine is the one that's questionable. It was $8.99, and the holiday ale was $7.99, and they're both still available as of yesterday. So mine's got brown with the light shining through it. It's reddish brown, but you can't see it shining through it, and it's got a beige head. And it's got real peanut butter, real chocolate, real peanut butter, and hazelnut flavoring added.
Okay. All right. Hello, hello. A West Coast product now, but also based in North Carolina, Mills River. I have the Sierra Nevada Norwal Imperial Stout, 10.2%. Very gem. This is the 2024 edition. Last year I did the 2023 edition. Review that. And that was my first time trying it. And I must say, liked it. And I liked it.
Hey, I would review it again, but we don't get it.
Yeah. So
I'll do a search, but I don't think we can get it.
So, yep. So that's what I have here. I'll read the description of it.
We'll get Go ahead, do it. Because I'm
aggressive but refined. Our Norwal is a multi-monster of beer. Like the sea herself, it can't be tamed. 10.2% commands reverence, boasting a variety of smooth body and a decadent finish. Narwhal is rich with notes of espresso, baker's cocoa, roasted grain, and a hint of smoke. Dive into the darkness. And of course, got it now, available now until December. So perfect to get one now. Stock it up for comes to the holiday season, which is a good time to drink stouts around December. Going to Christmas and all that good stuff.
Is that made in California?
Made in California, and I'm guessing also in North Carolina at the Mills River Brewery.
Look at the low calorie count.
Yeah, 10.2 IBUs, 60.
Is that for a 12-ounce serving?
327 calories.
Now, I would say it's interesting to see protein. Normally, beer doesn't have protein, right?
I don't know. They use Sierra Nevada lists that for all of theirs. Carafa, caramelized chocolate, estate pale, honey, roasted barley, smoked, and 2-row pale malt.
Cascade and Euchernut hops and
Equinut.
Equinut and Yale yeast. Ale.
Ale. Were they playing Harvard today? All right.
Yeah.
It
You
says
can sell her this. You can sell her this.
For how long?
Maybe about a year, I would say. And try it again.
I wouldn't go too long because honestly, I have done that with beers and to me they just taste old. No,
you can't. You only can do that with stouts and porters, mostly imperial stouts.
Even those,
you don't want to do that.
Even with the stouts and porters, I was like, oh, it's 5 years old, and I tasted it. And it's like, yeah, it tastes like it's 5 years old. I didn't find it was that great. But other people say, "Oh no, you just don't know beer."
Like
okay.
I mean, you can obviously you can sell her the Goose Island, Bourbon County, which I'm anticipating what they're going to have this year, if we get it, because I know here in Georgia the ABV only goes up to 14%. So last year it was 14.3 in some places, and of course couldn't get it here. Now, if I was visiting my friend in North Carolina, I could probably got last year's. Goose Island, but all they had was the Bananas, Foster, and the Backyard, which was not, even when I was at the store yesterday, Total Wine and More, they were still had a lot of last year's on the shelf, and which tells you they didn't really do well.
Do they sell this in singles, John, or is this a 6-pack?
I believe in 6-pack. Yeah.
And what'd you pay for it?
You see what I'm getting?
I paid $2.29 for this bottle.
Okay.
This was one bottle.
You see what my map's showing, right? Within 100 miles, nothing. No narwhal, which is disgusting to me.
Is that just because the climate, Jay? You think that it just wouldn't
I
sell?
don't know. We used to get it. We used to get it every year, and then all of a sudden can't get Bigfoot, can't get narwhal.
They used to have pretty good distribution for you, right? For those
That's right.
Sierra Nevada beers, right?
That's
so what's
correct.
interesting here, Jay? So I pulled this out of my refrigerator this morning. I'm a late edition, but I have a different can design. So I think mine's a little old. It looks like they changed their design here. And if I look at this, it actually says that it was canned on 11/10 of 23. So we're approaching a year.
No. Oh,
But you said, well, maybe you or Jean said that you could keep these things for maybe a year. So this is approaching a year old. That's
but Jean's talking about a high gravity porter or a stout, not an NA.
Okay. Well, we'll see. If I'm still alive by the end, at least it didn't kill me. But I poured this here. I'll just show you what this looks like. And I actually have an old Deschutes.
Okay, well, before you show us, you want to read what their website says?
Yeah, no problem. I can see it. Thank you. So maybe I'll talk about the price. Is this from their website, right? So $14 for a 6-pack. If I had to remember, I think I paid around probably 10 or 11 for this 6-pack, but it was about a year ago. So this is called the correct pronunciation of this is Deschutes. I know that that word causes for me it used to cause, but it's called Deschutes, and they're based in Bend, Oregon. But before I read this, I would just say that my can says that it is actually brewed and packaged in Golden, Colorado.
Oh boy.
And under special agreement, Utica, New York.
Ah.
And the can also says non-taxable under section 5051 IRC. So I wonder if it's because it's non-alcoholic, they can't tax it.
Can't tax it as an alcoholic beverage, right?
Right.
They built a facility out in Roanoke, Virginia. So not only out there where you are, but
okay.
So
yeah, Deschutes. The name Deschutes is what I've always called it. I never had trouble with it. I always called it Deschutes, you know.
Yeah,
but,
Deschutes.
You want to read?
We get Deschutes here too. Yeah.
Yeah. So it says so. This is the non-alcoholic variety, less than 0.5%, 30 IBUs. The flavor is chocolate, coffee, malty. Malt is pale wheat, caramel, carapalis, or it's hard.
Carapils.
Chocolate, hops, or Tettnang.
Yeah, correct.
And its availability is year-round. Behold, all the delicious richness of a porter without the buzz. This malt brew tastes so similar to the original Black Butte Porter that you'll be doing a double take, just right for winning trivia night, enjoying after dinner, making it to Wednesday, or even Sunday morning, or really any time. The recipient of 8 international non-alcoholic awards, including this year's World Cup gold medal. Black Butte non-alcoholic is our newest classic. I will say that I've toured this brewery. In fact, fun fact, I got married in Bend, Oregon. It's sort of our home away from home. We like we like to vacation down there just about every year. In fact, if I had it my way, we'd probably be living there. And what's interesting about the Bend area is it's just growing so tremendously and rapidly. What's happening is you have a lot of these folks coming in from mainly California that, let's say, bought their house maybe 10, 15, 20 years ago and selling it for triple or more value, and then basically being able to buy a home outright. But the price of homes, I mean, for $1 million, you really can't hardly get anything in Bend, unfortunately. But what's sad about it, too, is that kind of similar to a place like Jackson Hole, Wyoming, which is a rather tourist destination, the area is so expensive to live that, you know, the regular person or worker just can't even afford to live there. So they almost have to live in kind of surrounding areas. So it's kind of and Bend's also a big ski town, Mount Bachelor's in the background. So
I'm sorry, Jason, how far is Bend from Eugene?
So Bend from Eugene's approximately 2 hours, nearly due east of Eugene. And for us to drive there with a stop for fuel and a rest stop and all that takes us about 7 hours drive.
Yeah, so part of the country I've been really dying to visit, you know, the Northwest, you know, Oregon, Washington, you know, that whole area. Seems like I know Washington, you know, obviously, but Oregon seemed like a real cool spot, you know, because I listen to the Dan Patrick show, and I get the on my AirPods, I get the Oregon station, it's Fox Sports Eugene. And I've listened to it. So yeah, they always do a lot of advertising, pizza and everything, this and that. So Oregon's like a cool spot.
I've been to Twin Falls, Idaho, and Pendleton, Oregon, Spokane, Washington, and different towns, and I wouldn't call them cities, different towns in Montana. They look like
great walking weather.
Yeah, they look like towns, not cities, but you know. But they were nice.
Yeah. And another thing about Bend is that it's almost 4,000 feet of elevation, which for our ski areas near me, which is Snoqualmie and Stevens Pass, they're below 4,000 feet. So the elevation just at the city of Bend is higher than our ski resorts here in Washington State. So they do get quite a bit of snow in the wintertime, and it is a lot colder as well.
Really? Oh.
Yes. You want me to show you the
yeah.
Okay, so this is a very much an older glass design from the brewery. We took a tour there a couple of years ago. So I guess I'll just I see Dave's joined, so I'll let him.
Hey, Dave.
I'll let him do his introduction.
Morning, gents.
I have been to Seattle, Washington. I saw the Mariners twice. Went to 2 games there. Okay,
I thought we were doing beer reviews. Now we're doing sports reviews again.
Travelog.
All right, guys. This morning we are looking at Allegiance Dark O Moon. This is coming in at 7.5% all alcohol. It's a very good rating on Beer Advocate. I don't like it's very good, but we'll find out. This is a pumpkin stout. Yeah.
And let's see. I'm going to look it up right now.
I already have it up. I am prepared. The Beer Advocate gives it an average score of 88. The Elysian's website. Should we continue with this, or I'll read it? Let's see. Dark O. Let's see. Spooky, smooth, and chocolately. Dark O the Moon will leave you hollering for more. This pumpkin stout touts a full flavor, a creamy texture, and features notes of cocoa, brown sugar, vanilla, dark fruit, and pumpkin. A perennial favorite and 2010 silver medalist in the Great American Beer Festival Field Beer category. Dark O' the Moon is brewed with Great Western Pale, crisp 77-degree crystal, Munchin, Carabini, roasted chocolate, and special bee malts. I don't know what special bee means. Pumpkin in the mash, kettle, and fermented. Bittered with Magnum to finish with a saz and crushed cinnamon. Okay. The malts are Great Western Pale, crisp 77-degree crystal, Munich, Carabini, chocolate, special bee. Hops are Magnum. It says it's full and creamy. Okay.
I've enjoyed Dark of the Moon when we've tried it, and I did solo. So
Who sings that song?
I never heard a song called Dark of the Moon.
Yeah, well, it sounds a lot like another song that somebody's a professional at sings, and you can let them sing it.
Okay.
That has 0 IBUs listed.
Yeah, 0 IBUs.
0 IBUs.
But then again, some of these breweries don't even list their IBUs. Some just don't have them, but whatever.
Yeah.
But
Some
they
don't.
don't. But this one literally has no bitterness units. It's crazy, huh?
Doesn't I mean
The bitterness that you're going to get is from the chocolate. I mean, we all know that there's a bitter note with chocolate. There's a bitter note with coffee. So I don't know why that's not included.
All right. Yeah. Well, I guess they're only going. I don't know. That's a mystery. But here's the chocolate peanut butter porter with hazelnut flavoring.
Where'd you get that at? Wait, before you answer. Aldi.
Our friends at Aldi.
You sure they're not a secret sponsor?
I wish they were. I do an Aldi video every day.
Man, you be talking about spawning on your Dawn Busters too. You're going on and on and on about something, and then all of a sudden you start talking about grocery stores. I'm like, what in the world?
I'm a grocery store fan. When I went to New York City, I went to look at all the grocery stores. And in Spain and Africa. It smells like peanut butter. Smells like peanut butter. I don't know about the chocolate. Now, here's the thing I've noticed about these flavored beers over the years. They'll have a strong aroma of the flavorings, but then when you taste the beer, after the second or third sip, it just tastes like whatever ale you drink, and it doesn't taste. They never hold the flavor together.
Greetings, Jason. I don't think we've been formally introduced.
Yeah, this is Jason. He comments oftentimes on our videos.
Okay.
And this is
From
David.
Washington. I would assume that's why you have.
That's
Washington.
right. Yeah, Jason Cleveland from Washington State.
Washington State. All right, so you can bring on some of these Elysians products for us, different ones.
That's the thing. When Jay posts these pictures, I'm like, man, you guys had an Elysian night, and I think 3 out of 4, maybe 3 out of 5 brought the same thing, the space dust, and we get just. I mean, it's like literally a whole section is just dedicated to Elysian beers that you'll probably never see, unfortunately. But I'm glad.
What's so weird about it is what's weird about it? It's owned by AB InBev, and you would think they will distribute their beers more. There, besides the space.
That
You know?
has to do with that whole thing with Dixie, or the brewery formerly known as Dixie, and a contract that they signed with this here fellow that destroyed the distribution in our area.
Yeah, that's
Big old
unfortunate.
article on it.
Well, unfortunately, here I can only give. I did the space dust. I did bring the Night Owl when we did that, but also a few others. There's a hazy IPA that they have, but you know, same. I just don't understand it. Y'all are owned by AB InBev. Y'all can have the money.
They probably got products. They probably have products on the Gulf Coast that they want sold that they don't want Elysian competing with. So they just allow Space Dust to come around here, and they just say, "Look, don't send any of that other stuff." This tastes like not really chocolate. I mean, I don't get chocolate. I don't really get peanut butter. You know what I get? Those circus peanuts. You know those Mexican peanuts,
Spanish peanut.
Yeah, with the red.
Spanish, not Mexican. Don't be derogatory.
Well, I think some people do call them Mexican peanuts, but circus peanuts.
Spanish.
That's really what it tastes like. It tastes like circus peanuts and hazelnut. Well,
And that's because you're tasting that little red,
skin.
red like sleeve that's around that peanut. It's a different kind of peanut. That's all.
That's skin, yeah. That's the predominant flavor. So if you want a 6% porter, the body's thin like a porter, it finishes dry like a porter. So if you want a 6% porter that tastes like circus peanuts and not really chocolate and not really hazelnut, this could be one for you.
Who produced that? Was that from Stata or was that
Stata Brewing in Waunakee, Wisconsin.
Okay, yeah. Well, we're familiar that most of their products coming through pretty good, but for the most part, they seem to be like a little off.
So you just find out
Octopi Brewing.
All you got to do is find out what company sells wholesale circus peanuts in Wisconsin, and then you'll find out where they got that. All right. They call it peanut butter, but you know, peanut butter could just be peanuts crushed up and pulverized, and then you take a knife because it's going to get, you know, like,
Yeah, I remember that. We did a duo on that one.
Like coagulated, right? Or,
yeah, it's going to become a paste just from the oil. So if you take some mallet and take peanuts and crush them up and it's going to become like paste, or as they call it, butter, just from that. So, all right.
do they list all natural on the product anywhere, or is there any artificial?
No, it says right here. It says it's pretty specific. It says porter with chocolate, peanut butter, and hazelnut flavors.
So
that
is
could
it
be
peanut butter and hazelnut flavor, or is it peanut butter / then the flavor is hazelnut?
I don't know because they didn't put a comma. I think people need
So
to
that's peanut butter and hazelnut flavored then.
people need to use commas better.
You know, a lot of times, you know, like you said, you can pulverize a nut and until it turns into a paste, but what's left over is oil. So oil is not going to mix well into these. So what's probably happening is they may be dehydrating that peanut and then using that kind of a powder substance that's created from that peanut flesh.
or could it be synthetic, perhaps, like
No,
laboratory made?
I don't think they would have to. I think they would have to list out artificial. I think that you have to put, if it's artificial flavoring, you have to say artificially flavored. But
Okay.
I mean, if you think about it logically, if you had a place and you were making peanut butter, like most peanut butter companies do, they'll extract the oil and sell it. Then they'll pump cheap oil into the peanut butter and they sell it to you like that. In this case, that's probably what's happening is that all the oil has been extracted and sold off as peanut oil. As we all know, that's quite expensive, and a lot of people like to fry foods with it. And what's left is just the peanut paste. And so you probably got paste without oil or maybe residue of oil.
it tastes pretty good. It tastes pretty good. It's nothing great. I mean, for $8.99 a 6-pack, I don't mind. I wouldn't be running out to buy it again, but I'll score it. I know you hate it.
The
I didn't
holiday
say I
pack.
hated it. I said I was very disappointed with it in the style.
Did y'all do a joint review of this already?
Yeah, we did a duo review in the backyard.
You know what's interesting about their holiday? They always name their names are very simple: pale ale, chocolate stout, or stout, imperial stout. Simple.
Yeah, they don't bother getting the name trademarked because they probably don't want to pay the fee to get a trademark, so they just call it whatever it is. It'll be like Aldi will have, like you're saying, lager, imperial stout. That's it. It won't have any. It won't have a name. It won't be like, tree uh, forest of trees. It'll just be stout. Okay, I'll give it an 8.3. It's a B. It's good, but I wouldn't go crazy over it.
All right. Hello, North America. Hello, world. You're watching. I have the Norwal 2024 edition Imperial Stout. It says right over here, 2024. Did the 2023 last year. So the Russians have been sipping on this. I'll go ahead since Dave you just joined. I'll repeat again. 10.2% ABV, 60 IBUs, 327 calories, 27.7 grams carbs, 4 grams of protein. Carafa, caramelized chocolate, estate pale, honey, roasted barley, smoke, and 2-row pale malts, Cascade and Equinox hops, and Yale yeast. And aggressive but refined, our Norwal is a multi-monster of a beer, like the sea herself. It can't be tamed. Boasted a velvety, smooth body and a decadent finish. Norwal is rich with notes of espresso, baker's chocolate, roasted grains, and a hint of sweet. Now, since I've been sipping on this, you see nice little me head on top. Yes, my friend?
Oh, is that an oatmeal stout?
No, that is an Imperial, 10.2.
Okay.
I wouldn't put it like, say, Samuel Smith's, which is their oatmeal stout. Or
I just noticed through the years I've tried those, and they always have like a creamy effect to them.
Yeah,
so you would get either from wheat or oatmeal. Does it state whether those grains are there, or is there lactose or maltose or something in it?
It doesn't really say much, but I'm guessing it does because I still got a nice little head retention on it. And it's still
but the ingredients only showing malt, barley malt, and hops.
Now, espresso, I'm definitely getting some of that aftertaste there. You get that baker's chocolate. Not getting that hint of smoke that they talk about, but the espresso and the baker's chocolate are definitely there. Even like that baker's chocolate that you're making like a torte or a flour, whatever that style of brownie. You got the fudge, and then you got the one that's kind of very flourless type brownie, which is no frosting on top of it, but it's very has that nice, very deep, dark chocolate flavor that I like. So let's have at it. Cheers.
Cheers. So little trivia here. That was the one beer that brought Jay and I together to do beer reviews together.
Yeah.
That very beer.
And you can and we were talking about this is definitely you can sell her. Now Jay was saying a year. I was saying a year. Jay says probably you want to sell her maybe not too long. This type of stout. But I say, if you got the 2024, sell it, and so for next year, 2025, and have at it. That me personally, that what I would do. And available from September to December, so obviously perfect right now to grab it. To me, I've always felt that Imperial Stouts, especially with this high ABV, it's always great to have during the winter months. As we get closer, and that hasn't felt like fall here, as I'm sure it's for you guys. Jason, I'm not sure up in Washington, but I know for myself here in Georgia, and I'm sure hasn't felt like fall. It's been very warm.
Yeah,
warm for our own good.
Warm and humid.
10 years.
So, yes, there is climate change does exist, folks. So,
according to John.
Welcome to the organic earth you live on, my man. It's always going to change.
Yeah.
Didn't David say it had to do something with a planet that was rotating in a certain degree or something? It's not.
It's the electrical pull that's happening right now between the sun and Jupiter. The alignment of the two. It causes more pull, hence the aurora borealis that we're all seeing way down here in the southern states too. We could see it. Fantastic sunsets and sunrises and all that. So it's getting more energy pull from the sun, and it's also pulling from Jupiter as well, because Jupiter is strange planet. It's like its own little universe.
Yeah, David, I agree. A hefty ABV, which is just perfect.
Now, getting back to beer.
The
Norwalk.
planet Earth.
Go ahead. You can say something. You can say something about Norwalk.
Talk about sports, man.
I wanted to know what your score is.
Well, I was going to say this is the same ABV, close to 1050 from Oscar. That is at 10%.
10.5, 10.50, 10.5. Get it?
10.50, 10.50.
Fighting 10.50.
It's 10.50, but same close to it. But I'm very biased to that stout. I think it's the best Imperial Stout, hands down. I know Goose will say otherwise. I agree. Goose Island, Bourbon County. But this is close to 1050. This is just the flavor, the style, just right at what I like with it. It has everything you want. That warmth, that nice cozy feeling you get, after you're outside on that cold day. You want to get a nice Imperial Stout to enjoy your evening. So,
Can we see the bottle again, John?
yes, absolutely.
And that's a 12 ounce.
12 ounce bottle.
And the calories.
In your area, I think that's produced in Chico, California.
Chico also, they have a brewery up in Mills River, North Carolina.
Right.
So.
We'll get from the East Coast brewery, obviously, because we're closer to the East, North Carolina.
Right.
And everything else on the other side of the Rockies, I guess, would come from Chico.
Yeah. So
I'm
going to go. I'm gonna go 9.5 out of 10. This is just a superb stout. I mean, what more needs to be said about this? It's just is really good. And
does that recommend what temperature? Some of these beers recommend serving it at a certain temperature. Does it tell you on the bottle?
With me, I will leave it on the counter for about a good 10, 15 minutes, maybe 20. By taking it out of the refrigerator, just to let it warm up just slightly.
So probably like 50 degrees or something, roughly?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, between 50 and 60 on these stouts.
All right, we're going to come back to you in a little bit for any promos or show and tell.
Okay, today I have the non-alcoholic version of Deschutes Black Butte Porter. This is canned a year ago, so this beer is a year old. So if I don't make it, at least I joined you on a Stout Sunday.
Right.
Before you go, continue, and Jason, Black Butte is the best-selling craft porter according to the experts
In America?
Yeah.
Really?
The other version, not the non-alcoholic version.
Correct. But according to the description on the can and the website, this is basically as close to drinking the real thing as possible. And given the time of day, I can't quite crack open a 10%er like some folks here. Anyway, I'm only giving you a hard time. So if I smell this.
Did you by chance try the Guinness Zero?
That's a great point. I was in the fridge kind of saying, look, I've been meaning to join these things. Work gets in the way, the time zone. And I said to Jay, send me the link, and then he sends the link out. So I joined. I actually have a can. I don't know, Jay, if you could pull it up on the website since David is asking. I have a can of Guinness. It just says 0.
Yeah.
But what's interesting is the other day, I swear I saw 0.0, like they've added a decimal point to the packaging. Now, again, I think it might have an old can, but
let's not get confused with these advertisements of zero alcohol in these beers. There's always a smidget of alcohol in it.
Right.
This one, really good fermented or even non-fermented apple juice has more alcohol in it than non-alcoholic beers.
Right.
So there's several products. The malt beverages out there.
But it's minimal. It's minimal. It's very minimal.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, what's interesting is that they so it does say 0 on this can. Okay, but what's interesting is they still ID And I know you, David, you mentioned many times they still check your ID, which I think is pretty funny. It's almost like job security. They got to check your ID, right?
Hey, Jason, you know what? They know I'm not 21, so.
Yeah, but it's job security, right?
So, or either that, or it's the heat.
That's true. Getting to their head, right? But anyway, I was checked ID, so maybe I was mistaken. So this does just say a single 0 on it.
You may be thinking of Heineken. Heineken has the 0.0.
Yeah, maybe.
Yes, the Heineken. Yeah.
So I've had this too. Maybe next time you do a Stout Sunday, I've got a can of that in the fridge, and maybe I'll join with that. But I think
notice that the Guinness has fructose and natural flavorings in it. Okay,
that's interesting.
We'll stop interrupting. All right.
No, you're okay. So back to this product, and kind of give you a little bit. Bend is kind of a second home for us. But what's interesting is I just noticed, Jay, before I actually get into it, the can did say that.
The website of the beer that's being reviewed, please.
We already did. Okay,
yeah,
go ahead.
The can did say that it is packaged in Golden, Colorado, which leads me to believe that this is maybe made by Coors, right? Oh, I hope everything's all right, Jay.
Probably a contract.
Did you hear a siren?
Yeah.
Just like with City Brewing does most of their beer contract brews for Guinness. What was that? What's that beer?
PBR. They're doing PBR right now.
But also,
it's probably just a contract. Probably a contract they have with Coors. Probably a contract they have with Coors to make it.
But it also says, and under special agreement, Utica, New York. Do you know what that might be?
FX Matt Brewery. Probably another contract for east of the Mississippi.
Utica Club Light.
Yep. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Okay.
And so that's where Brooklyn. That's where Brooklyn is brewing. Brooklyn Breweries brewing most of their beers there.
Yeah, right. Well. FX Matt, correct.
Interesting. This is probably coming from Golden, Colorado, I presume then.
Since you're west of Mississippi.
Yeah. So this kind of smells like burned toast. That's about all I'm getting from it. When I poured it, I don't know if you can see the lacing on the glass. It was probably a good inch or more of lacing that's kind of come down here, but it's still holding a pretty good head a little bit after about 10, 15 minutes. Having had the original Black Butte Porter, to me, this just tastes like a thinner version of it. The mouthfeel is thin. It's semi-dry. And you do get a little bit of the chocolate and kind of a burnt toast and maybe like almost like a peanut, like you mentioned, finish a little bit. I think it's still good even after the can is a year old. I don't taste any off-putting notes or anything like that.
That's good.
So I would say that
I have a question.
Absolutely.
In regards to the toast notes, is that maybe coming from roasting of, you would think, of the malts?
It has to be, right? Because the malts, Jay, we called those out earlier, but if I have the website open, the malts are pale wheat, caramel, carapils, and chocolate. Those are the malts.
Yeah, it's coming from the chocolate. It's probably a bitter note coming from the chocolate.
And what's interesting, I'm on the website. It says shipped to all states except Arizona, Georgia, Idaho, Kansas, Nebraska, Missouri, Michigan, South Carolina, Tennessee, and Texas. I wonder why they can't ship maybe those states don't allow beers to be shipped to them via the post, perhaps.
It's weird.
Probably some old Jim Crow law or something they all still carry them, which makes no darn sense at all.
So I think this is very good. This is something, even the can and the website says pretty much can enjoy any time of day. And having had the original, I would hesitate to say that this is very comparable. So for a non-alcoholic porter that's a year old in the can, at 8:11 in the morning Pacific time, I'm going to give this a 90 out of 100.
Nice.
I actually am regretting that. I'm regretting that I still had this because it's actually quite good. I would actually say that, if you were to, again, if you're taking a break, I know, David, you took some time off earlier this year and you sort of delved into this
45 days.
Yeah, so you're able to sort of see things from a different perspective, right? I mean,
Oh yeah, it is an appreciation of these products and an appreciation of what you're missing too.
right, right.
But it brings a moment of clarity when you can stop and put this down,
Mhm.
and it allows you to appreciate things that are made a little differently. The one thing I liked about the Guinness, and I ranked that up there as one of the top non-alcoholics, along with Budweiser and Heineken, is the fact that you get everything you want out of a Guinness, just no alcohol. So if you like the creamy effect, I'm not a big fan of these, but I did appreciate it. I was like, oh, look, they could still make it like this, and
Right.
I still
So
had
J-
Jason, you weren't off the wall. I looked up the United Kingdom website and look.
Okay,
Look at that.
okay, so like I'm not going crazy. The can I have says 0, and then I swear in print I have seen, or maybe even locally, I have seen 0.0. So there are 2 packages of the same thing, right?
You know what also could be going on is that they had lawsuits going on. Somebody dreamt something up and decided, I'm going to sue you because there is a smidgen of alcohol in it.
Yeah, yeah.
And so even these ones where when maybe 0.0 is old,
Yeah.
and maybe it's just 0 now.
So here's a fun fact too. So I lived in Ireland for 2 years, and
Ooh, that's a good one.
I lived in Ennis, Ireland, and there was a pub in the community that I lived in called Jono's Pub. Maybe Jay, if you want to pull that up, just as an interesting thing. But anyway, they had the cheapest Guinness when I was living there. It was about €3 a pint. But if you were to go to Dublin for the same thing, it was like double the price because Dublin's super expensive.
So what is a euro compared to American dollars?
So when I was living there 20 years ago, it was about $1.30 for €1.
Okay.
That was the conversion rate. So about 1.3 to 1. So 30% higher.
It's the same now. It's the same now.
And what's interesting is it's pretty much at par. Because $1 gets you 0.92 euros. So it's about 8% more, roughly, right? But the Canadian dollar is the one that's just, to go to Canada is pretty cheap. I think we're looking at like, shoot, I used to be able to find it here. $1.39, $1.40. So yeah. So I lived in. Okay, so here we go. So I lived in Ennis, Ireland, and I lived in a little community called Brooknahown. So like if you were to zoom in on these things here, I can kind of the Tola Road there, yeah. So there's the city center. And if you were to maybe just type in Jono's Pub in Ennis, JOHNNOS, and it's ENNIS, JOHNNOS. In Ennis, ENNIS. Yeah, there you go. This was within like, I don't know, a minute walk from where I lived, this little place here. Because you can see the homes in the background if you scroll to the right there. That's the community that I lived in, those little bungalows. So I could literally just exit my place and go in here. And I'll tell you a story because this was 20 years ago, but Ireland's still kind of a developing country. And what would happen is, I think like the first Wednesday of the month, the farmers would take their cattle to the auction and they would auction off their head of cattle, and then they would get paid, basically. These old guys, old timers. And then they'd come into this place and start drinking. And then they'd tell you stories that, one of these old guys was basically telling me, you're nothing if you're not struggling, because if life isn't a struggle, then you stop living. And he kind of ingrained in me that, hard work, dedication,
Oh, look, you have American pool.
Billiards. Yeah. So anyway, that's kind of a fun little story there, but cherish my time. I did go to the Dublin brewery. I took the tour. And there's a place there where they, St. James Gate, Dublin, Ireland. And that's pretty cool, actually. The bar where you do the tasting after the tour is called the Gravity Bar. And it's like the tallest building in Dublin. And it's kind of like a periscope type building. And you can see the whole city and the river Liffey and all these things. So anyway, cheers to you guys. It's great to see you. Nice to meet you in person, David. I did comment last year, and I would hesitate to say that I have the same Christmas wish that I would like to see David get his own channel so then he can voice his opinions.
Honestly,
Which may happen.
I honestly don't think I have the time to devote to a channel.
No, I know.
It's a lot of work. I see the amount of time that Jay puts into it.
Yeah.
The care and the organization, the history, the research that he does provide a good viewing product for everyone. And I just
I know.
Maybe one day. I just don't see it right now. I mean, so right now I'm just special guest on Louisiana Beer Reviews. Thank goodness I have that.
Right. And I will comment that I think the first video I saw of Jay's was, I think you're doing a malt liquor review coming up here, right, Jay?
Malt liquor video?
No, like an examination of malt liquors coming up soon.
Oh yeah. Hold on. This Wednesday.
So it's this week.
Yeah, not this week, but the 13th.
Okay, and that got me thinking about the first video review that I saw of yours, which was, I believe, for King Cobra malt liquor, and you were dressed in a very nice suit outside. And it was kind of a comedy review. You were kind of pontificating upon, like over pontificating on what you were examining, like on the grains. And so anyway, I don't know if that was deliberate or if that was part of the shtick.
Let's all not forget the Vienna sausage years.
I like those Vienna sausages.
Now we're moving on to ramen noodle years.
So anyway, enough of that. I think I gave this a 90 out of 100. For again, a non-alcoholic beer that's a year old. I think it's still pretty good. So yeah, cheers, guys. Thank you.
Cheers.
All right, guys. Today, this morning, we are looking at Elysian's Dark O Moon, and basically, this is their pumpkin imperial stout. I don't know if it's imperial. No, I'm sorry. It's just a pumpkin stout. It's coming in at 7.5% alcohol. The appearance and the taste of this product to me is almost very porterish. It's real light. It's almost like a very dark nut brown ale. You do get that pumpkin, and there's cinnamon floating around in this one. So I believe that is some of the things. It says, I'm just reading from the label here since we already did this. It should be chocolate with a touch of cinnamon. Cinnamon kind of has that ability when you have it, just like if you have a cinnamon roll or anything where cinnamon is added to it, it gets on your tongue and it just kind of stays there, almost like a piece of dirt or something, because cinnamon is bark of a tree. I guess that's why it's bark o moon. I have no idea. It's just some kind of, I don't know. It even looks like an old Ozzy Osbourne video where he was walking around like that in the video of bark at the moon. So it is cinnamon on the nose. It's not overly cinnamon, and you do get the chocolate coming through with it. And taste on this. It does have that chocolate cocoa note to it. Again, I'm getting cinnamon, roasted malts. I just wish that it was a little thicker. I find it to be a little thin on the body. It's pleasant. I guess it's also designed. Maybe they decided to go with a lighter profile on this because we're not quite cold in most areas. So this is something that you would want to have. But it is a little light, so I'm not really digging at for something like this. It's good. It's going to get a good grade. Don't fear.
Would you gravitate towards something like this, David, normally?
It's very good. It's slightly sweet. Pardon?
I was just going to ask you, would you gravitate toward this style of beer normally, or is this just something that you're
Not
having for the
pumpkins,
show?
no. As
Okay.
we went through the years, and I tried pumpkins. I didn't like them. Didn't like them. Didn't like them because of the sliminess aspect. That is missing from this, and this also came from their 12-pack variety, which is fantastic. I'm telling you, if you see this one around, pick it up. Every beer, and it's really good. Yeah, I'm gonna give this. I'm going to give this an 88. I believe it was better made 2 years ago when we first tried it. I believe it was more of a stout and less of a porter that I kind of feel like it is right now. The flavor's coming through strong, but I think I don't think you can call this a stout anymore. It's just some of these stouts, man, they're just coming so thin. And unfortunately, this is one of them. I just don't remember 2 years ago when we tried it that it was this thin on the body. Still, I believe 88's it's a really good score. Yeah.
So you think the beer's changed since the last time you had it?
I feel like it's lighter body wise.
Maybe this is a question to ask, but with inflation and the cost of products and everything, do you think companies are looking to reduce maybe the materials they use, and maybe the sourcing has changed, which could lead to a thinner body? I don't know.
I think maybe they're not getting the ingredients that they've got at one point. I also think the production may cost them a little bit more as well. I know energy prices have gone up, raw material prices have gone up. Are companies like cutting back on certain things? I can use this one for an example. This is a brand new bottle of Buffalo Trace that I got. They increased production, and to me, and this one is blended. This one's blended by their own whiskeys. This was a whiskey that they make by blending their whiskeys. To me, this one was thin. And the sweet profile went down on it.
You know what?
It's a bit of a harshness on it.
I agree with you. I think that about 10 years ago was when I first tried Buffalo Trace, roughly speaking, and I thought it was amazing. And this is before all the hype of, I mean, you could hesitate to say that there's a bourbon craze either happening or a crash on the way, but 10 years ago, Buffalo Trace, I think, was spectacular. And I had a bottle maybe 2 months ago, and I didn't think it was that great. So maybe they're just rushing it, but I think, Jay, you mentioned that you spoke
I could show you a sleeper that nobody's really banging on just yet.
You said I mentioned what?
You mentioned that you spoke to a representative from the distiller at Buffalo Trace, and their approximate. Now, I think you also said maybe they don't list the age for tax reasons, or is that Jack Daniels? But
that's what Jack Daniels said on the tour.
Okay, I've taken that tour too. Really quick before I forget, I've taken that tour too about 25 years ago, and it's in Lynchburg, Tennessee. And what's interesting is at the time, that was a dry county. So when you finished the tour, you just got lemonade. I don't know if they've changed the law.
Yeah, they changed it. They changed it because when I went on the tour, they were selling whiskey.
All tequila cred with me, buddy.
Hold on, they were selling whiskey. They were selling whiskey on the tour after the tour. So yeah,
okay.
So I do have a sleeper that I would like to show to everyone, and this is coming through at a really, really great price right now. If you see this, grab it, get it. I picked up the last bottle available at a local discount establishment, and I'm picking this up for $27.99. This is not a fifth. This is the 1 liter. So you're getting 25% more, and at $27.99, if I had to size this down into, no, you didn't trigger me, Claude.
Not yet.
If I had to size this down into the 750, you would get it for under $20 all day long. So this is Well, actually, no, probably 21. This one is fantastic. It's mash
Is
bill.
that the rye? Is that the rye?
Yes, 60.
100%.
It's also 100% proof.
100 proof.
100%.
Mash bill
Yeah.
is 65% rye. Oh yeah.
I think remember we did that rye night, Jay. Remember?
Waterford, and
Yeah.
Waterford retails almost $50. So you do the math. And
Now-
Waterford, you're only going to get a $7.50.
Woodford, yeah, Woodford. Now we're going to do any show and tell and okay, so announcement.
Let me get some show and tell, Jay. I'll be right back.
All right, we'll get to you. So as far as what's coming up, this Wednesday, November 6th is Joker's Wild Wednesday. Bring anything you want. That's why I call it Joker's Wild. And then the 13th is any malt liquor beers. Spot and Optimator sold as a malt liquor. The 20th.
Wait, time out. It has to be listed as a malt liquor, not sold as a malt liquor. So when you pick it up, it has to say malt liquor on it.
Yeah. Well, Optimator, Spot and Optimator, if you look on the bottle, it says malt liquor.
I will look.
So malt liquor night on the 13th. I might bring a Colt 45.
Why not?
Oh, maybe I'll bring Old English 800. Okay.
No, bring that Optimator. Show
I'm
us
bringing
the-
Mickey's. Already got Mick. The Mick is coming.
Oh, Mickey's. And then
I will not bring either one of those products. We shall mix it up, gentlemen.
on the 20th of November, white wine night. Any white wine. 27th of November is any light beer night. Light beer. Maybe I'll bring Outlaw, the new light beer Outlaw.
Is that a Coors product?
I don't know, but Mathern's is selling it.
Independent brewery.
Yeah, Mathern's has got it for $8.99 a 12-pack right now.
Really?
So Joker's Wild, malt liquor, white wine night, and light beer night. And then Fridays this month, Fandango Friday, any liquor or liqueur. And then the rest of the Sundays are Super Sunday, anything you want to bring. Now, as far as show and tell, I bought this last week. Oh, Colt 45 night, proper 12. Okay. I bought this last week, a 6-pack at Rouse's.
Jack's. Okay.
But it's not Jack's beer. It's somebody making beer and putting Jack's label on it.
Since 2022.
Where's
Right.
that from, Jay?
Port Orleans Brewing of New Orleans.
I don't even know how much you paid for that.
$4. No, I mean 4.5% alcohol, 4.5. They say it's a Pilsner. It doesn't really taste like a Pilsner. Now they say on their website, just like the old one, except better. That's what they're saying. I never tried the
That
old-
means what they're doing is they're plagiarizing. They're using somebody else's label on a new beer.
Right. So the last time I bought Jack's was 1996.
And why is that? Why do you think they named that company Jack's? Since Jack's is short for Jacksonville, Florida.
Because the brewery was on the corner of Jackson Square in New Orleans. Jackson Square. And the brewery was called Jackson Brewery. And it's a shopping mall now. Okay, but anyway, I bought this. I bought it. All right.
Also the home of WTUL radio.
Hold on.
WWOC.
WWOC, yeah.
Hold on. All right.
No sports while we're reviewing.
As far as what I have, this is what I'm going to bring for Wednesday, Joker's Wild Wednesday. I'm sure Jay and Dave, you're familiar with this one.
I bought some this year. Oh, well, David gave me some this year.
I drank my project.
I reviewed this in 2020, and I thought this was a excellent product.
It's changed,
Yeah.
in my opinion, for the better. But
okay, so that's what I'm bringing for Joker's Wild Wednesday, and then from Wiseacre, this is what I'm going to review sometime this week. Ananda Indian Pale Ale.
I've had it.
yeah,
From Nevada?
in our area 10+ years
Memphis.
ago. Was here,
Wise Acre up
boom in
in
and out of there
Memphis,
for like
Tennessee.
3 years. That's it.
Yeah, we don't get their stuff anymore. We used to get it.
That's about it. I'll join you for no, we'll not be joining for Fandango Friday, unfortunately. I'll be doing inventory, our yearly inventory at our job, and that is about it. And Super Sunday, I'll have something. So,
Yeah.
Thank you, Jason. Good seeing you again. Please
Absolutely.
do more of these. Come.
You want to see what?
7:35.
You want to see
7:30
what?
a.m. Eastern. I know it's tough.
You want to see what I'm bringing to Fandango Friday?
What you got?
No.
I do. No, thanks, John and David.
Watch. He's gonna come out with his what the
So, John, I know no sports, but what's your game of the day?
My Giants, I think they're going to lose to Washington. As much as I just think our season's pretty much over. Daniel Jones. Oh, some Instagram speech. Okay.
So is that hang on here? It's
You just announced you had like 4 or 5 of them you bought.
peach flavored vodka.
Yeah, I got it for 99 cents. Yeah, so if the Giants are beating the Washington team at the last second, what Washington could do is throw a pass way downfield.
Hail Mary. Exactly.
You know what?
But the game
Here,
of the day-
Wait. Is it Washington and New York playing today?
Yeah.
Washington beat Chicago last week on a
No,
Hail Mary.
You know what this
Crazy.
is? John, you know what that is?
I.
Of what?
The hair of the dog.
Tiger. Jaden.
All right. Okay, so any last things, Joe?
The game of the day is Detroit and Green Bay.
Ooh, that's gonna be a good game.
That should be
that most of the country's going to get that game this afternoon. Outside of that, not much else. So I'm just going to relax. I'm going to make a couple of burgers and
Yes,
in
I
the
can.
can and chill with give me a beer, have a beer. I'm about to head on and go do my get an oil change done, get that out of the way, and just relax the rest of the day.
All right, enjoy watching football.
Do you change your own oil or you get someone else to do it?
I'm going to a spot to get someone to do it, and you get a free car wash. And my car needs a wash bad.
I do my own.
I do too.
Yeah.
That way I know, because look, these guys are crooks, man.
Oh yeah.
You
Don't
pay for
put
the full
don't put the
synthetic.
low grade oil
Yeah.
in your engine,
Yeah,
and then you
pay for
drive
the full
around all of a
synthetic.
sudden 2,000 miles into your chain,
Right.
and you're missing a half a quart of oil, and you're like, "What is going on?"
I just do my own. Okay, so I went down and got some interesting products here, and I think it's fitting given the fact that I brought a beer that's a year old. Jay, I have this that I haven't drank.
Fuller's vintage ale.
I don't know if you hang on here. The
The
glare.
glare, yeah, the glare. But I can tell it's a vintage ale. What year is it?
Okay, let me just turn Let me turn the light off. That might help. Well, actually, it doesn't really.
Well, let me go ahead and
2015.
go. I'm going to run.
Oh, bye, John.
Bye, Sean.
Later, Jason. Bye.
We'll see you.
Oh man, that's a good vintage.
So, I don't know. I think the thing says you can store it for up to 10 years, and it says best before the end of 2025. So we're within the best by date, even though this thing is almost 10 years old.
Have you kept it in like a cool, dark area?
So there's a place near me. If you like beer stores, if you want to maybe pull this up while I'm whistle stop, they sell exotic, rare, high end. I mean, I think I paid $10 for a beer, which is a lot of money, but I bought this in 2017. So it was 2 years old when I bought it. I think I paid about $10 for it. And it was refrigerated when I bought it, and it has remained refrigerated. Has only left the refrigerator except to show it to you folks. Really.
Well, I would bring it up, but I got to go to the restaurant.
No, you're good. You're good. And then, so I know you got to kind of hustle along here. I've also got this interesting product, which is Frederick No Little Book. I don't know if you've heard of this or
Yeah,
seen
I've heard a little book.
This is 118.1 proof.
Too high.
Wow.
So this is in a nice kind of like, one of these Costco deals. I think I paid about $80 for it, which is crazy. But I looked online; it was going for like $300 online. I'm like, maybe it's worth buying. Maybe I'll do that one of these days. And then the last thing, which I've been meaning to come on and bring on the show, which is
Ooh,
E.H. Taylor
Oh,
single barrel bottled in bond.
we can't even get one of those.
And so it says, let the label tell the truth. And what's interesting is we have a little kind of a specialty grocery store here. And there's a gal that works there who I kind of just always bump into and talk to. She runs the wine and beverage section. And I asked her, I said, can I get some Blantons? And she's like, absolutely. And so she comes and gets me this little notebook. She's like, just put your name in here and your phone number, and I'll order a bottle and I'll call you. I'm like, what else can I get? And she's like, well, what else do you want? I'm like, well, how about E.H. Taylor? She's like, yeah, I can get that for you too. You see, I've had a little bit of this already. This bottle's about a year old, actually, in all honesty. But anyway, you know, some of this stuff is as hard to come by as a dinosaur egg, as they say.
How much do you give for that?
Yeah, so I put my phone number in the book, and I swear within a week she calls me and she's like, hey, your bottles are here. This was $70 before tax in Washington State. We are taxed very heavily on alcohol and spirits here. So I think after taxes it was close to $100.
Oh man, they rip y'all off
for this. It's terrible. But you know, I don't want to spoil the movie here, but this is most excellent. I mean, I haven't had any of the what's that stuff? The super high end Buffalo Trace products. The name is escaping me. It's the name of a guy with like smoking a cigar.
Yeah.
Pappy Van Winkle. I haven't had any of those, so I can't. You know, I can't.
I hear it's overhyped.
Yeah.
I hear about people have tried it. They're just like, it's good, but you know, is it worth the rundown?
And so
But,
anyway,
you know, I could live the rest of my days just fine without trying Pappy. Now, if it comes my way, I'm not going to turn it down.
That's a cool thing. So anyway, these are coming, Jay, when I can break free from the man, as they say. But anyway, it was very nice to join you folks.
Jason, let me show you something we can get only in our area at the Saserac House.
Oh, that'd be great.
Thanks for joining, Jason. And when you start your channel, I'll watch it.
I have a channel. I just have only put a couple of videos, like random stuff, but I need to start reviewing. I think, maybe it's time.
I bought this at the Saserac House in New Orleans, and they do all kinds of tours. And I was able.
They come in that bag?
Yeah, it's a gift bag. Oh, they wrapped it all up. Shoot, man, I'm not gonna unwrap it. It's
Oh wow.
It's Eagle Rare.
Nice. Is that the 10-year?
It's 10, yeah. It was $30.
I've had Eagle Rare. That is really good too. It's
a really good product. Yeah, this is all gift wrapped up. Somebody lucky gonna get it 1 year.
That's nice.
I got some other stuff up here. Man, I forgot I had this.
I know Jay's like, hey, I got to use the restroom. Hurry it along.
I know. I know.
I hate that feeling.
I got some gift sets up here. I forgot I got them. And whatnot. You always got to keep those things on hand. I know some people tell me that, you can't give people liquor and alcohol, and that's horse nonsense. People always giving people wines and stuff like that. You just have to know who you gifting to.
Right.
You can't just give it away to, this is all I got stuff, you know.
No teetotalers.
Yeah, pretty much.
Or
You know, I'm trying this thing over here. Oops. This thing over. Let me try this one. Where is it?
Myers?
No, this thing.
Greenbrier. I haven't had it, but I've got a bottle.
You do have a bottle?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is one of the ones I made a bar deal. I was in a bar and I didn't like the selection that they had. So I asked the bartender, I said, hey, you got anything in the back? It's like, what? I was like, I don't know, something that doesn't sell. This comes out with like 5 different whiskeys. And I got this and Slane. Yeah, Slane, which is an Irish whiskey.
Yeah.
So I said, well, how much? You know, thinking I was going to get a drink. You know, like, how much? She says, oh, well, let me check. So she comes back and says, $30 a bottle out the door. I said, really? She says, yeah. I said, I'll take these 2. I was just asking for a drink. But when she hit me with $30 a bottle, I was like,
Wait a minute. So
I
you
don't
can
have to
buy
pay tax. I didn't have
you
to
can-
pay tax on any of this.
bottles of alcohol from the bar, or is that just a kind of an under the table type thing?
I've been in other old establishments where they sell you what's called a setup, and then you
Okay.
buy a bottle.
I see.
So whether that's
So
true or not, I don't know.
when I was living in Ireland, there's some bars do sell bottles because they have what's called an off license to sell. So you basically go in and you say, I want cans of Heineken for off license, and then they sell it much cheaper than if you were to buy a Heineken in the bar, which is interesting. So anyway, and there's some very small towns where basically you got like a pub and a school, and then that's it. So
So
kind
is
of
that like an ID? You'd have to show them that you have this license before they
So-
sell it at that price.
no. So like off license just means they have a license to sell products
off the property.
off the premises, so basically you cannot consume it on the property, but you're able to purchase it to leave, almost like a store kind of thing, a bar
Yeah,
that can sell. Yeah,
To take it home.
You
To
know
take
what?
it
New Orleans is very obscure and it's got some obscure laws and all that. So I would say that's probably the same case here with the purchase that I got.
All right. Well,
Liberty.
we got to get going. So thanks everybody for watching and joining. And
All right, you
enjoy
got
your
sports on, man.
Have a great Sunday, folks.
All right,
Have a
Jason. Nice meeting you.
yeah. Thanks, folks. Have a great day.
bye
All right,
bye
Take care.
everybody.
Take care.